Yep. Oh, hello, Trout now. It is, I think, day 5, and we are going from Indian Grave Gap back to Uncle Johnny's and Nolichucky. Hopefully tonight we'll tell you a little more about Uncle Johnny's. Should be a nice, shortish day. I mean, it looks like pretty good grades, so we'll find out, and we'll talk to you later.
As we're descending, we see this beautiful red salamander. Don't know if you can see him in there. Coming across the trail. Doing his slow ascent up. He may be moving faster than we are. A little over a mile into the trail. We see our first time ever on our trail, prescribed burn area, which is great. This is a great thing for the forest. You can see what it does. So, wonderful thing they're doing here on the trail. You can see the results of the prescribed burn. You can see that it actually takes the underbrush out, which is one of the big fuels, and allows new growth to come back in. And if you look really closely down there, you can see we're going to be doing a switchback and going down the hill some more. So we don't know if it's like 2.6 or 3 miles in. There's a nice little creek that you cross over. You hear the nice bubbling brook. If I'll be quiet here for a second for you to listen. So we're about ready to start a descent. You can actually see the foundation to a house that was here, built by the civilian corps when they were working out here in the woods. You can see it's a nice little area. Over to the right is a great camping area over through the rhododendrons and down that way, so very pretty. We are headed this way, getting ready to take our downhill for the day into Nolichucky. Got our first 4 miles in and getting ready to do some more. Talk to you later. Just bye. Down from the curly maple gap is Curly Maple Shelter. You can see it's actually a very, very nice shelter. 2 levels, beautiful carved out of wood. Nice little crossing bridge to get you across. Great sitting area. Boy, looks like a nice place to stay. See you later. As you descend off of from Curly Maple Leaf Gap, you start to hear finally some of the water that we've been following downhill gathering together and starting to pool to make a larger and larger creek. As we came off a little outcrop off the trail, you see this wonderful creek coming down between us, flowing down. You notice the water's a little tannin from the roots. You see it cooling down there. Probably some nice sized fishies in those ponds. We saw some in just a baby pond the other day, so anticipate there'll be some big guys down there. So as we come on down, following that wonderful stream we were talking about before, there's that beautiful pool that I was talking about that was coming down into. And we're continuing to follow the creek on down. And that jingle you hear in the background is our baby bear bell doing its job, keeping all the wildlife. Beautiful little creek just coming bubbling on down. I want you to walk with us for a second. Maybe a little bit bumpy, so excuse it right now. Paying you backwards. Probably one of the prettiest little creeks we've seen on our trail trip so far. So some nice little features, nice little waterfalls coming down. I'm sure you'll get a couple more shots of this before we hit the bottom. So we're on lunch break and we are being entertained by watching the millipede move its way across slowly with all its little legs going, segments going across the tree, going this way and that way. This has been our lunchtime entertainment. You can also hear that bubbling creek called Jones Branch, sorry, that will be following us all the way down. We got a little bit of the videos earlier. We're going to have our first bridge crossing coming right up after lunch. See you later. So this is the bridge. Actually, this is one of the nicest bridges we have been on. I can't remember in a long time. Usually it's just the two pieces of wood, no handrail, nothing so elegant to cross a small little creek, but you can see upstream the beautiful view, hopefully, to the rhododendrons. I'm going to get tired of us talking about this wonderful stream that we're following, but you can just see how marvelous it is to be able to come down and enjoy this type of view as you're hiking. So this is our second crossing of Jones Branch. Jones. I keep saying the wrong one.
Even your relatives.
Even my relatives. What can I say? You get to see the view as you go across. And then for the people who like the see-through view, they're, see-through on the mesh. And then downstream. So as we're hiking, we get to hear this woodpecker. We're hopefully trying to find him, if we're lucky. And hopefully we'll get to see him. Here is the reticulated woodpecker, or the famous red-headed woody woodpecker, type woodpecker, that lives in the trees and forests around here. So if nothing else, you might be able to at least hear him again. I think. And here's distinctive sound. So we'll continue to look here and see if we can find him for you. So if you look in the water there's some couple fishes in there, probably about 8-9 inches long, enjoying their little pond.
Oh no, this side.
No, they're together underneath that rock. As we continue to follow down, we've had our own little personal gnat clouds along the way. So actually it's a pretty good area. We've got a little bit of breeze, so the gnats are clearing out a little bit. So we'll head on down the creek. And here we are at bridge number 3. Crossing over. We're now crossing our 4th bridge. It's actually not over the creek this time. It's actually off of a feeder stream.
You think?
We believe, because of the way it's running. And there was a fish down there, but he just went and hid underneath the bridge, so sorry. Probably don't get to see him. So we're going to come across our first railroad crossing in all the miles that we've had. First time we're going across the tracks, and this is a very, very active train area, believe it or not, as plutonium is carried in and out of here, and actually is one of the biggest things that continues to keep the Irwin population going. So after coming off the top, you can hear that's not wind, well, maybe a little wind, but most of that is the Nolichucky River coming up to us. Nolichucky means river of death. Reason why is upstream there is a very large gorge, and obviously with that gorge caused some problems. You can see it's a very nice flowing river. We may be going tubing down there soon. Who knows? So we're almost at the end of our walk for the day. So looks like we got some good timing, as it looks like the rain is about ready to move in. And here we are, headed across the river.